John, we'll start with a practical question. How much did Monday's postponement affect the week, and how many sort of changes did you have to make to the players' routine and stuff to be ready for this weekend?
Not many changes. It's just you miss a day of obviously 90 minutes football, 95, 97, whatever minutes football. You're travelling there, travelling back, so it upsets your plans slightly. But we came in the next day and trained, and we had a really good session.
Players get in the right frame of mind, don't they, for a game? Is that more difficult to deal with, that idea of being all dressed up with nowhere to go?
Yeah, I think we had a plan, and the plan obviously changed. Simple as that. They got their heads around the new plan, which was we were in the next day, and we trained really well, and their attitude towards the training the next day was brilliant. So, disappointed that we didn't play, but it was for obvious reasons. I think Mansfield tried the best to get the game on, but ultimately it was the referee's decision, and I think it was the right one, to be honest.
What kind of shape are you in going into this weekend then? Has it given you a bit more time to get one or two, not just back to fitness, but maybe one or two a bit closer to being able to play?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think I touched on it last time. I think Matt Lowe's the next one to come back. I think Jay, Rich Bagaloo and Longello have been at St George's Park this week, and I think they've been running on the grass. So Matt will be the next one to come back in. So it'd be good to have him back. And we're looking strong.
How big a difference is it between being fit after an injury and able to train to being fit to go out and play there in a competitive game?
Well, it's totally different. You've got training legs and you need game legs. Ideally, we'd like them to play games before you put them back into the first team. But unfortunately, with you try and organise games, whether the under 20 games, under 21 games, and unfortunately, we haven't been able to organise one or two of them. We've played in the under 21 League Cup, so them games are finished. So now you're basically just seeing them train, being ready to go back into the first team without really testing them in under 21s games to see and test their injuries.
How difficult is it to make decisions about next season and the sort of longer term future on players who you've not been able to get out on the pitch?
Yeah, it is difficult, but at the same time you still know what they've done previously in the past. So we take all that into account in terms of their injury and where they're at and stuff. So it is tough, but as I said, they've set the standards when they've come in as players, and they've played in the first team or they've played under 21 games. So you can make decisions even tough for otherwise. I
know you've talked a bit about not necessarily experimenting, but taking a look at a few things and a few players between now and the end of the season. Is there an emphasis on that, given the way the situation in the league is?
Yeah, I'd say it has to. And you try and what I want to do is try and put the best and the strongest possible team out to play against the opposition, whoever that is, on a Saturday or a Tuesday. But at the same time, it does give you the chance to go and look at one or two younger lads, one or two that are coming back, we just touched on, back from injury. And that is the plan behind it, planning for next season, if you like.
Do you think that your supporters will be able to see a bit of your personality and a bit of you changing things as the season progresses? Or is that more likely to be pre-season, August next season, when you get your own stamp on it?
Yeah, everyone wants their own stamp on it, but I think they've touched on it now. They can see that we like to play football. We also, of course, want to mix it up at times. Different personnel in terms of you've got a target man you can play up to. Unfortunately, we haven't got one at the minute, but we've got some lads who are trying really hard for us and doing really well and giving the best. So you can see that we've put probably emphasis a little bit more on the football, giving the younger lads more of a chance, and that showed evidently in the last game. When we finished like a train, we just couldn't get the equaliser. What
have you made of Crewe this season?
Good side. We played them at their place. I think it was 3-3. We scored, I think it was 2 late goals. I think one was in the 80th minute, something, one was in 90 whatever, and then they went down the other end and scored at 98. And plus, I think they had a defender sent off, and maybe the 80th or the last 10 minutes or so. So it was a good game. They're a good side. They passed the ball well. They're in the playoffs for a reason, because they've got the results. So I like the good on the eye. I think they're a different team to when they play at home to when they go and play away, but they've got decent results away. You look at last week when they played at home, and it didn't go too well for them in terms of they were 3-0 down after half an hour or so. So we're expecting a tough challenge. I think there'll be a different animal tomorrow when they come. I think definitely mentally. So we'll see what that challenge brings.
How hard is consistency to find in this division? I think Crewe are an example of that at the moment. That they're on a little run without a win, but before that they were on a really good run. And it feels like it can really quickly switch.
It does, and it is. Consistency is a big thing in this league. You know, anyone can beat anyone on a day, as it's proved. You know, we've had some decent results ourselves against big teams that people aren't expected you to do well against. You know, and in terms of form, I think theirs is a bit indifferent, similar to ours. I think it's like both of us have had 1 win in 5, if you like. If you want to go back further, you can. But yeah, so I think, as I said, it'll be a challenge for the both of us, I think, mentally, and if we can get the first goal, then see where that takes us, especially with the fans behind us. Is
it important for you to finish the season strongly? Can you kind of take that into the summer and over the summer into a new season, if you will?
We'd like to. You know, we'd like to. That's the idea of it all. But touching back on what we said earlier on, is that, you know, I want to give lads a chance, and I want the fans to see what's coming through as well, and you know, not to be judged, but, you know, just to say, look, you know, are these lads going to be ready? You know, can they play league football? We know they can play under 21 football. We know they can play under 18s football. So we'll probably have a look at a few little different things. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the end of the season. And, you know, if it does all work out well, you know, you go away with more of a, you know, a spring in your step. Looking forward to pre-season.